Hey everybody, this is Ben Smith. Hope you're doing well out there. So today's episode, this is going to be really exciting. I want to give you a case study into the type of coaching we are doing through chance bending now. So I am giving you an example of an entrepreneur I work with. His name is Brad White. And in this case study, this is our first phone call while we're talking about a new deal that Brad is working on, and he needs some help. He needs some help figuring out how to get this deal done, how to negotiate, what's important, how to get the big deal done. That's what he's really looking to do. So I coach him through the process. This is an introductory call. He tees it up for me. I start bringing up some of the most interesting pieces of the deal and how we want to approach it, how we want to diagram it, how we want to cut it up, and how ultimately we're going to get this deal closed. So if you're curious about how high-level multi-million-dollar deals happen, how they get negotiated, this is the case study for you. So we're going to play the call. If you have questions, hit me up. I think we're just going to keep giving you updates as they happen. So I want you just to see like what a real live deal looks like. I think this is going to be fun. I don't know. It could be a disaster, but I think it's awesome. If you have questions, hit me up, bensmith.tv. If you're interested in chance bending coaching, go to my website, check out the network. We're calling it the Chance Bending Network. So I can't wait to hear from all of you. So many things going on. I can't even believe it. I don't know. It's been fun the last few weeks. I feel like I'm just in my zone and I'm just creating, and I'm curious, and I've been doing all the VR and AR stuff, and man, everything is just coming together. But most importantly, I just want you to hear this case study. So have a listen, enjoy, and I will talk to all of you soon.
Brad, how are you, man?
Hey, Ben. What's going on? How was your week?
It was good. It was good. How was your week?
It was good. Good. A lot going on, as always. And I love the last couple of your episodes. So nice work.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm trying my best over here. So Brad, what's up? Tell me how the week's going. What's the latest?
As you know, I got the three companies all working. I'm still trying to work out the way to maneuver everything, because I think I do need to focus in. But this week, I was hoping maybe we could talk about something in particular that kind of came up, and I'd love your expertise and insight on the opportunity.
I love it. I'm ready. Let's dive right in.
Cool. So, last week I kind of alluded that I had this big meeting that kind of came out of a freak occurrence. Well, there's this company. It's a public company, and I've been pursuing them for over a year. And I was in a meeting last month with someone else, and they had mentioned that they were a part of that company at one time and worked with them. The company had this big division, and they had over 100 people on this one media component of their company. And since then, they've kind of gutted the team, but there's this treasure trove of content. Think of it like a pirate ship where there's a big treasure chest and there's only two pirates left. Well, that's kind of what it is. So I've been hunting these people, trying to figure out who the person is that sits over that content now. And I finally found out just by a freak conversation. And that person happened to be meeting with the person I wanted to meet that week. And he mentioned what I did, and I got a meeting. So that meeting was yesterday, and the meeting went amazingly well. So there's a few components to the deal, and there's a specific question that I want to ask you so that we can I can think about how to maneuver, right? So the the company is has this treasure trove of content basically. The getting that content in my company would basically change my company overnight. It's a 7-figure plus opportunity. This company, because they had 100 people and now they only have 2, they still want to make money off of this content, but they don't have the resources assigned to it. The bigger company no longer wants to invest in the content, so this person is doing deals, but he's very limited in what he can do because he can't provide any technical or resource support. He's literally taking 25,000 movies and clips and putting them on a Dropbox and sending them to people who are willing to put up with it. And and then that the other companies have to figure out how to make it, usable. So he's got this huge resource issue. Right. I come along, I have 3 companies, and all 3 companies solve all 3 needs. I have the OTT and connected TV consulting company, which brings the demand and knows the distribution. I have the tech development company with Nerd. And then I've been working on this tech for 18 months, which would be a video service, which could license the content and make money. And so all the companies that I work with are all the companies this company wants to work with. And they just don't have the team for it. So I have a pretty good opportunity here. But on my end, there's going to be a huge amount of cost. I'm going to have to hire employees and, basically make the content ready for television and all these types of things. But that's a problem I can solve, right? That's just resources and money. The problem that I really need in this deal is it is a public company, so you have to deal with public company lawyers. But in order for me to have the power to get the distribution that this deal will require to be successful, I need some sort of exclusivity. I don't want, the company we used to work together on, if I go to that company, for example, and say, I have this treasure trove that you've been looking for a long time, you have to work with me in order to get that content. That company needs somebody like me to make the content ready for them, because right now they couldn't even work with the content. It needs to be fixed, basically. But I don't want in a year or 2 years to put all the time and resources into the content, make it ready for prime time, and then also have this company say, oh, look at all this money we're making, we'll just go direct to all these companies. So it's more of a contractual problem. They have a lot of chips. I have some chips because I don't think they can find another me. But again, it's a public company. Like this guy can't spend months in legal trying to get a deal done. So I need to kind of do exclusivity light. He said he didn't close the door on the idea. He did kind of close the door on a long, like a permanent deal, which I understand. But I need to figure out how I can provide bargaining chips to get those terms, because I'm going to be investing time, money, and everything else. They're basically just going to hand me a Dropbox, and I'm going to do all the work. So, but if I get this deal and it works, it's going to open all these doors for me, because I'll be able to lead with content that no one else has. And then it'll open up all sorts of different things for me. So it's a huge opportunity. And yeah, so that's the problem. And I need some deal making help.
Brad, you are definitely one of the best entrepreneurs I know. Like, congratulations, first of all, for reeling in at least an opportunity. This is a big time opportunity. You have a publicly traded company. You're talking about doing a major deal. There may even be exclusivity attached. Congratulations, first of all. Like, just to have the wherewithal to get in there, most entrepreneurs, they can't do that. Let's be clear. So you've done the hard part. You've done the heavy lifting. You've gotten in there. and now you're on the verge of getting a deal done. In deal making, the way that chance spending and the way that we approach it is we want to be very, very clear on what's in it for them from day one. And I think that we need to, in this situation, we want to prioritize the steps here. I heard you say a lot of different things. I heard you talk about what's in it for them, what's in it for you, some of the complications, some of the risks. What we want to do is we want to actually diagram this deal out and make sure that we're very clear on the stakes from day one. What often happens in complicated deals like this is that we sometimes lose sight or forget why they're doing this deal. And so what I want to do is I want to get really crystal clear on what's in it for them. And then this is an additional piece. What's in it for the person that you're dealing with personally? That's really, really vital to this deal. You have a company that's gone from 100 people down to 2 people. What if with 2 people remaining, they're probably both pretty good folks, and they're going to have a definite point of view on this deal, and we want to make them look good. Deal making is about making the other side look good, both as on a company level and a professional level. So let's diagram that out. Then let's diagram exactly what's in it for you. From there, now let's start talking about some of the risks, some of the things we can do to mitigate risk, and how we're going to tackle that contract. I think you have a serious, big-time opportunity. I don't want to see us blow it by getting too scared of the risk involved ahead of time. Right now, it's all about understanding how to serve this other company best. Does that make sense? Brad, does that make sense? Hello? Hey,
Sorry, I put myself on mute. Yeah, absolutely.
no problem.
I think the 2 components, those are the things that I really want to hone in on, of what's in it for them, because you know they've got other people that they have to please, that are, because the core business is still going, and there's a lot of potential opinions, and I just want to make it as easy for them to get a yes, while also preserving, the risk I'm taking, basically, which is financial risk, right?
Absolutely. If we can really isolate what's in it for them and figure out how they're going to measure success, then what we can do on our end is that allows us to then tee up our ask. That allows us to talk about exclusivity. That allows us to talk about the amount of financial risk we're taking, and perhaps they help us shoulder some of that financial burden. Maybe it helps us better isolate dates so that we understand when we're taking risk. Maybe we front load risk. Maybe we back load risk. We can take care of that, but first we just need to really be clear on what they're looking for.
Okay.
Do you have a sense of exactly how that's going to work?
Like in terms of what they're looking for?
Yeah, like what's success for them in this deal?
They need to generate revenue off of this library, but they need to not expend resources. But the second thing is, they need to, the reason that they want to make money more than anything is the promotion value. So they basically make very famous devices, and those devices need promotion. So the distribution into these platforms like what we're used to work together, is just free advertising, really. Like, this is our product, and it was used to make so and so, right? And so they want to have that up to date. They don't, like, in the past, like, something would be, and I'm getting too close to what the company is, but in the past, something would be made and it would be updated with, like, this is the product that was used, right? Or instead of buying advertising to say, like everyone else, they can just kind of advertise their brand and their product by just showing what the product does, right? So those are the two big things. And obviously, if any public company, they're risk averse, they don't want to be caught in some, they want to know that the company that they're working with is not going to get them in any trouble. So I think that part, the only issue is I'm small, right? I don't think there's any reputation risk except that I'm small. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I think that this company probably is excited to work with you because you are nimble and because you can do things they can't do. And so we want to play that up in this deal. We don't actually want to, we don't want to minimize that. We actually want to play that up, but we need to do so in a way that doesn't set off alarms and mean that they can't work with us.
Exactly.
So what I'd like to do with you is I would like to whiteboard with you and really get precise about the revenue component that you mentioned and the promotional component that you mentioned. Because if we can get very, very precise, then what I think we can do is I think that we can propose to them an arrangement where, depending on how we revenue share, how we divvy up funds, we may be able to offload risk on our end. We may have to take some initial risk to get this thing going, but I think that can be mitigated by the way that we pencil the deal based on rev share and promotion. But we need to get really, really crystal clear on their expectations as to when this deal becomes profitable, cash positive for them. And once we get locked in on that date, then we can work backward and figure out what the best terms are to propose on a high level. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's great advice. So let's
all
do
right,
it.
So yeah, why don't we get in front of the whiteboard together and just get going?
Okay, it's a date.
All right, my man, let's do this.
All right, thanks, Ben. See you next week.
All right, thanks, Brad. All right,
Cheers.
All right, see you soon.
Hey everybody, this is Ben. So I love that phone call. I think it's a great example of the type of coaching we do at Chance Bending. And I think it's a great example of a incredible young entrepreneur who has a big deal on the line and he's trying to figure out what's going to happen. How does he get this thing over the finish line? It's complicated. There's a lot of different pieces to the puzzle. In my experience, listening and really getting into the mind of the other party, the people on the other side of the table, that's what deal making is really all about. So I want you to stay tuned. We're going to bring you updates on this deal, how we're doing deal making. As you know, I have a book on deal making coming out pretty soon. I believe it's going to be called Dealt, the Real Art of the Deal. No, I can't use that title, unfortunately, because someone else has the real art of the, or I guess the art of the deal. But, yeah. Anyway, so we'll bring you updates on this all the time and talk to you all soon.